To the people of Iran, greetings and salutations.
Yes.
No one knows better than the one who finds himself where he is when all that occurs around him is before his eyes. I don't have to tell you stories or invent any exaggerated scenarios. You yourselves know, as they say, on your own flesh, you yourselves know exactly what it is that the Revolutionary Guard does, what the religious establishment has done, and also what the present government of Iran has done and where it's gotten to. And you yourselves know the best that it is heading for extinction, and it's very, God forbid, possible that it will drag all of the Iranian people into the abyss of extinction and elimination. We are now, according to the Torah, in the end of days. The period that the Torah talks about is full of very grim prophecies of columns of fire up to heaven and resembling palm trees. We all know that this is the actual picture of nuclear explosions, and it talks about the elimination, the eradication, the extermination of huge areas in the Middle East, of Egypt being empty, of Syria being empty, and God forbid that this should happen, but it could possibly happen if things go from the way they are now and into a worse and very frightening scenario. When we kill an animal in his death throes, he's much stronger than when he's alive. And we see now that the darkness being the obfuscation, the hiding of the truth, is so great. We look at the world, what have become the new morality, the ideals of the world, what has become of the attitude of people, such huge portions of humanity and mankind that are so intent on exterminating Jews, so intent on bringing the Jewish people to an end. We see this time and again, and every time this has happened in the past, the people that have tried to do that have disappeared. If we enumerate all of those who have tried to wipe out the Jewish people, starting with the Egyptians, we see that all those cultures, all those peoples, they have all disappeared. Egypt, Greece, Persia, Media, Babylon, Rome, the Nazis are gone, the communists are gone. Everyone that has ever raised his hand against the Jews is gone. So once more we are in a situation where the enemies of the Jews are blind to the past, and once more we are witness and present at the time when our people, the Jewish people, my people, are now once again being threatened by extermination. If we go according to what has happened in the past, and there's a saying, a popular saying, that those that ignore history are fated to repeat history. In other words, those that ignore the fact that all of the enemies of the Jews are gone, one by one, are also they themselves lining up for that kind of a destiny. God forbid. My message to all of you as human beings, my message to all of you as mankind, is do your best to find out what God requires of you and not what these people are leading you down into. It is a part of the Torah. The Torah is for all of mankind. And all the Muslims, all of the Christians, they admit the fact that Moses was the prophet that God spoke to, and Moses is the one that brought the Torah. And after that, for some reason or other, only God knows why, all of the world started to rebel against that. But that's neither here nor there for you or for me. You, as a human being, are required to obey God. God's will is the only place we know about it is in the Torah. There are 613 commandments for the Jews. 7 of those commandments are also called the 7 laws of Noah. Those laws forbid idolatry. The laws forbid cursing God. The laws forbid eating from an animal that is still living. The laws forbid murder. The laws forbid theft. The laws forbid unusual and God forbid not right things to do. A person has to get married and try to bring a family. And the law also requires that there should be judges, courts of law, so that there should be righteousness and justice, and also an arm, the police, to enforce the law until the coming of the Redeemer, King Moshiach. Very interesting is the fact that in creation, for every kind of phenomenon, we have the counterpart, the counter distinction. For instance, everybody knows about the yin and yang, power and softness, day and night, good and evil. And we find a very interesting phenomenon that the present day government of Iran is led by those that are called the hasteners. They're the ones that want to bring the redemption, their view or their interpretation of it, with their interpretation of who the Messiah is, by causing the Messiah to come faster because things are starting to get out of hand. They are the hasteners. They want to cause war, they want to cause all kinds of calamity, and they want to cause, by doing this, to bring divine intervention. And by doing this, they think that they are bringing the world to come in a faster way. They are the opposite, the countervailing or counterpoint of those in Judaism who believe that the Rebbe, Menachem, the Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, he's the Messiah, and they believe that he's alive, just like the Imam is supposed to be alive according to Ahmadinejad and his cohorts. So it's very interesting. How can we differentiate between one and the other? We have a tremendous hint, a tremendous fact, which is the fact that the word truth, in no language other than in Hebrew, the holy tongue, the word truth is written in Hebrew using the first, middle, and last letters of the Hebrew alphabet, which means it corresponds to truth being true at the beginning, true in the middle, and true in the end. There is no other language that says the word true that way. In Arabic it's hakika, in German it's va, in English it's true, truth, in French it's vérité, in Portuguese verdade. So we see that all these words are very, very opposite, or as far away as we can go from the concept of the word being written by the first letter of any given alphabet, the middle letter, or the last letter. So in the Jewish calendar, we find that the first letter is Aleph, the next one is Mem, and the last one is Taf. And those are the 3 letters in Hebrew that make up the word truth. Meaning that the Torah, which is written in Hebrew, the world which is created by the holy tongue, that is the one that's giving us a hint to where the real truth is. If the word truth in Hebrew is written that way, it means that everything that is in the Torah is that way. It's the truth at the beginning, it's the truth in the middle, and it's the truth in the end. And for us, it is a guiding post. It is something that we can depend on. So when we have 2 contending or conflicting claims, Let us look at how the word truth is written in any of their corresponding languages